Okay, hey guys. So, I just shot a video actually, but I wasn't a little bit too happy with how I phrased some things in it, I suppose, and related it to my personal life. So I'm gonna shoot the video, and basically what I'm talking about is attachment, detachment, um, I guess spirituality or choice, which I can define later, and then after fasting and kind of my benefits from fasting to the lack of attachment or detachment and attachment and seeing where the valuable things are. I should probably start taking notes on these videos. I will soon, as soon as I start making more. But anyway, so basically, every week since my water fast, I think this will be my third week without since the water fast, I've been taking every Sunday a 24-hour or 22-hour water fast just to keep things up. And what I've learned through doing that is that day I find it as a period of rest. And during that rest, my body processes all the food and all that and blah blah, blah, and I do feel a little healthier every time. Although I get really fucking hungry because I think I'm still rebuilding. And you know, you're still very weak after these fasts for a while. I can feel it when I do physical labor and things like that. I just feel weak. What you do, well, one of the things is it gives your brain a chance to think a little clearer. And one of the things I realized is that I often found myself more attached to things such as food or people than I would have normally been, you know? Or let's say as a teenager, when my body was functioning a little bit better, as everyone's does, I had less attachment to most of these things. I felt more spiritual in general, actually. But as an adult, I've become attached to things like chocolate and cookies and chips and all this crap, man. You know, I mean, it's not crap. It has its place. You know, it's good for some purposes. It is tasty, but ultimately they're crutches. Like, I leaned on them as a crutch because I couldn't handle being really, really real with myself and like my real feelings about how it's not about being emotional or being a bitch. It's about being real with the way you do things, you know? So basically, if you're going to kind of do all this kind of stuff, and live a good life, you need to be real with like how much having a cookie every day is benefiting you. Or maybe this cookie or whatever, you know, nachos, milk, you know, I don't know, could be kale for some people, although those people must have something wrong with them. These people that find these comfort, and I'm one of them, still even now, would say that, you know, this is just a crutch that you're leaning on so you don't have to deal with the reality of your situation and your real emotions and how you really feel. You're essentially just using a crutch to escape being authentic and escape being that pain, or escape that pain that you're going through to grow. You know, like, now don't confuse this if you know, have a problem like anorexia or something like that, or bulimia. You need to eat to live. That is proven. It's a fact, actually. But when you're doing, in America, where we're all fat, dumb, and happy, just eating all the time is not going to do you anything. And also, you know, maintaining relationships with people who are toxic or even just leave you in a comfort zone are not good. You know, you need to let go of these things. Reaching for a bag of chips when you're unhappy, or turning into the TV, or calling your friend that always gets you, you know, I don't know, like fucked up on, you know, whatever, weed or heroin or alcohol, probably alcohol, considering like most of the world's like fucking alcoholic. That's another thing, because they don't want to deal with their problems. Almost everyone who does a lot of alcohol is trying to do that. You know, you just poison yourself slowly. By the time you're 40, you feel like shit because you've been doing that. Oh, red wine, yeah, that's great. You know, it's fun. I like it too. But like, you know, you gotta abstain as well for a while. It is poison. I don't care what the studies say. You know, it is a poison. You know, just like eating a lot of shitty processed food is. So, not that I'm dogmatic about it. I eat and drink these things occasionally as well, and even sometimes often. but just realize that you weren't built for these things and that you don't process them that well, and they ultimately slow you down. Well, some people have a better capacity to deal with them, but that doesn't mean that it's good for them. They would probably operate a lot better without the alcohol and the cigarette a day or whatever. They're, not that I'm proselytizing, but I'm just saying it's probably a fact. So anyway, in doing this fast, I began to realize what I was attached to, because there was just you have such a long period of missing it, of what's the best word to describe this, of being denied of it, that and it's such a massive part of your life, to get a chocolate bar, to eat every morning some Cheerios or whatever, even if it's healthy foods, you can get addicted to bad healthy foods, and you become, or even good healthy foods, but they become a crutch and you latch onto them. And when you have that absence, and especially that's why it's better to do kind of a longer fast if you're healthy enough to do them, you really realize what you're listening to, what you're seeing, and also with my relationships with a lot of people, I realized during my fast, like, a lot of things about that I was not being honest with myself. It's not that I was trying to hurt anybody or my friends or anything like that. But I realized a lot of things, like, man, I unintentionally have hurt a lot of people, and also been kind of shitty. Everybody's like that, though. Not to justify it, but to realize that is the reality of our situation. So, going without for a while will expose these things, because essentially what you're doing is kind of covering up things with TV or food, or I mean, in my case, it's probably mostly food or entertainment. Like, I watch YouTube all the fucking time. I have no self-control. So, and that's why you're watching this video, right? So, but anyway, yeah, I think it's a very good exercise to do this. And the weekly fast has brought me more back to my core and center every week. Now again, I'm finishing it for a month. I'm going to do it one more time, and then on that date, after completing that, I'm going to evaluate. I'm going to look into my heart or gut or whatever you want to call it, and feel whether or not this is a good feeling. Because I'm going to forget the quote, but I agree that you should always let your heart lead your interactions, your intuition. And there's a great quote that, crap, let me look at it. Oh, where's my phone? Oh, I don't have it. Okay, anyway, so it's something to the extent of, trust your intuition, because your intuition is the gift, or is your higher, what created you, it's your natural, like, guiding system, like you think about like a cruise missile or something like that. If it just flew wherever, it wouldn't go anywhere. It's like it's driven by something. And when you have that drive, by program, when you have that programming inside you, it's your spirit, or your greater overall autonomic nervous system responding to stimuli in regards to references throughout your life and what you operate best at. Your intuition always drives you towards your best. Some people say no. I tend to disagree with them, because not that your intuition can't be wrong, but it's usually you're confusing your ego with your intuition, which is also a convenient out, because it's hard to discriminate which is what, if it's even a real concept at all. But the idea is that you go with your gut feeling, because that's just, it's instant and it's already there. I fucked up many times not going with my gut feeling, and sometimes it's hard to tell because you're wrapped up in your ego. It's probably because you're too attached to your ego, like most people. Although you need your ego for a lot of things as well. Duality and everything, right? So you need to learn to be discerning and action-oriented, in what you choose, and pay attention to the results of that and improve next time. Get the feeling better next time if you can. But also, don't delude yourself. Sometimes your ego will say things. Oh, I should just go back to that place because it's so cool. It's like, yeah, but last time you were at that bar, you spent like $120 on shots and you got blackout drunk. Just because you feel it, that there's a distinction between craving and reality and, authenticity. So fasting for me has cleared up a lot of these things. And I've learned to step back or become detached from the situation and to look at it more as an observer and see that in looking at these things, it's great that I have all these lessons, but that I need to kind of just go, oh, well, that was a good lesson. I learned a lot from this. But, you know, like, that's just how that goes sometimes. And it's hard, and you have to go through a pain of missing it. You know, it doesn't mean you can't, like, for example, if you go through a missing potato chips or corn chips or something like that, I don't know, whatever. It's gonna hurt for a while to like miss them, absolutely, like anything. But like after some time, it won't matter, you know, and you won't crave them anymore. And then if you happen to have some at a party, or you know, someone brings them to your house, you know, you can have them. It's not a big deal. You could probably even have them more in moderation. But you don't need to go nuts with them anymore. You know, you've got that control. You've manifested that. You've conquered yourself. It's really about conquering yourself, in my opinion, and that's what I've kind of come through. Then really, it is about fasting. You know, it's really about creating mental self-control and security and stability and independence, more so. And this doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. This transcends the duality of gender. So you should transcend your own limitations. That's what you should be doing, male or female. Doesn't mean you have to like go climb fucking mountains. Doesn't fucking matter. But challenge yourself. And you know in your heart how you need to challenge yourself. Don't be weak. Don't give in to your cravings, your desires. Be strong. Stand tall. And, you know, I think that's the best to do. That's what I've done. I've always had people react positively. And when I've acted weak, you know, it's regrettable, I suppose. But I'm a human, and I will screw up. And it's only gonna happen again in my lifetime, many more times. But you have to learn from that and just continually improve. And if you go with that mentality, it's not so much that you can't be defeated, it's that you just accept the reality of the situation and deal with it accordingly. It's a non-attachment. It's a detachment from your own situation. So, you know, that's just something I think you have to get comfortable with. But the fast was a great way for me to start into this. I'm glad I followed my intuition in my heart and did this. And if you guys are interested in it, look in doing that, look into it. There's several good sources on the internet. I like Lauren Lockman on the fasting, although, you know, I don't know his center. He tries to get you to come to his center in Costa Rica, which seems extremely overpriced. But his YouTube videos are very good, and I think it's a good way to start. But also, I don't think you need to fast exactly. You can do many other things. But for me, at least, fasting was a good start. I felt like I needed that denial of things. And that's, sometimes you have to let things go to let things come back or new things to come in. You know, and it gives you an important and valuable perspective in my mind. So anyway, that's it. I'm pretty much done with this video. Thank you guys for watching, and yeah, Jeremiah, if you're watching, what's up, man? Thanks for watching this. It's really cool that you watch my YouTube videos. So anyway, yeah, talk to you guys later. Bye.